Yeah, so many aspects of this circle of courage and the theories behind it are so easy to grasp, and yet in practice it can be a little bit more difficult. And to help professionals, STAR has developed a self-assessment tool that focuses on all of the four universal needs. Down below this video, you have a free download for the belonging portion of the self assessment tool. Dr. Soma, can you explain what this self assessment tool entails, how it can be used, and how professionals might begin to implementing it into their daily or weekly routines?
Yeah, absolutely. So the self-assessment tool is just what it's titled as. It is just a self-assessment. This assessment is for any adult, any educator, any practitioner to begin to assess what they are doing with the children that they're working with in terms of providing experiences to make those kids feel like they have a sense of belonging or connection to them. So it's a self assessment, which means it's just on your own. There's really no scoring. It just is a checklist of different ideas that you can implement with kids, either in your classroom or clinical setting, that will help increase the experiences where that child does feel like they have a sense of connection and belonging. So, what we've done is we've listed a lot of different ideas and strategies on the checklist. Some are, gosh, are we greeting kids every morning on Zoom by name? Are we greeting them when they walk into classes? Are we noticing things about them on a regular basis and asking them questions? Are we getting to know them in a way that goes beyond just the academics that we're teaching in the classroom, whether it be a virtual or in-person setting? And then what you can do is you can begin to identify the strategies and tools that you're already using with certain kids, and then maybe look at places where maybe you could add more to sort of bolster that sense of belonging for specific kids. I think what a lot of adults will do is they begin to look at that list of strategies and they begin to think like, oh my gosh, these are some things that I could easily implement at every classroom period of time to really help that sense of belonging. For some kids in your classroom, you're going to be able to check all the way down the list and just say, oh my gosh, with this child I'm implementing everything. And that's usually because kids that are easy to connect to are giving you this reciprocal interaction where it's just a spontaneous interaction and you have that natural sense of connection. For the children that don't feel naturally connected or they have that sense of belonging that is lacking, you may need to be very, very intentional about implementing some of those activities or strategies on a more regular basis with those kids. So there's a couple ways to use the tool. You can look at the tool and say, how am I doing in terms of using all of these strategies with my entire classroom or the entire group of kids that I'm working with? And then you might say, for the specific kids that you say, yeah, that child does seem to feel like they're not as connected as other students, or they don't have a sense of belonging, that you identify some key strategies you can use with specific children that you have interactions with on a regular basis. And then you can go back and reassess and see how you're doing in a couple weeks after you begin using the tool. Belonging is the best place to start. The other thing that I like to say about this can be a tier one support in schools. This is something that will help all children, no matter if they already have a sense of belonging or if you're helping to really develop that sense of belonging with them.